Hello, everyone. We are here today to wrap up our work on the circular cloud hands. And I have to say, teaching the circular cloud hands has been particularly interesting to me this year. I've been really getting into the senior form. There's nothing like teaching a form all the way through in order to really focus you. And I've learned a lot. So I'm really hoping to share the things with you that I even learned in the last week, because I was looking more deeply at what various really great people do in this and how they do it. And hopefully I have some tips to share with everybody. So we'll do that. But first, let's warm up with, of course, our form. Prepare. Opening. White crane spreads its wings. Grasp the bird's tail. Right ward off. Roll back. Press. Push. Fist. Under elbow. Left brush knee and push. Right brush knee and push. Step up and punch down. Golden rooster stands on one leg. 1, 2. Repulse monkey. High pat on horse. Right separation kick. Left heel kick. Twin fists strike opponent's ears. Needle to see bottom. Cloud hands. Right, left, right, left, right, single whip. And we're going to add that single whip today. How about we do it one more time?
Yay.
And then I'd like to see you folks do it. And I'd like you to think while you're doing it, think if there's anything that is glitchy. What's glitchy? And what feels really comfortable? I'd like to hear both. Prepare. opening. We'll do it a little faster. White crane spreads its wings. Grasp the bird's tail. Right ward off. Roll back. Press. Push. Fist under elbow. Left brush knee and push. Right. Brush knee and push. Step up and punch down. Golden rooster stands on one leg, 1, 2. Repulse monkey. High pat on horse. Right separation kick. Left heel kick. Twin fists strike opponent's ears. Needle to see bottom. Cloud hands. 1 and right. Step forward left. Step back right. And single whip. Thoughts on what feels better than it kind of ever has before? And thoughts about what still feels like it's not your own yet?
That's really helped, Dee Dee. That muscle in my back, I've noticed now, as I was doing the form, how I'm lifting my back up. And I'm going to work on that instead of as much as my elbows. I think it might be sinking down a bit more instead of, I think that'll help. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could feel it lifting. So yeah.
So especially if your upper back feels like it's lifting, it's going to lift your shoulder for sure. And it's also going to lift your elbow. So yeah, you know what you might do? You might think about, so for those who weren't here before class started, we were talking about how you can work on your body shape. You know, you might have a body shape like this. If you want your elbows down, 2 ways to do it. One way is you can, you know, droop your elbows and that's just fine. And another way is, and that's a good thing to learn, right? This nice, relaxed but connected, make sure you're still connected feeling. But another connection you can get is across that back, and then you can pull a muscle that's right here down. And if you can find that muscle, this is what happens. I don't know if you can see that. I'm contracting the muscle. Contract, contract. You see how that pulls that muscle down? And Sue is mentioning that she became conscious that her upper back was sort of, so my thought, I like images. My thought is when you're in prepare and various times, just think about almost like zipping up from the top of your spine down. It's kind of like just, or a hand going down that's helping your spine do the bottom, but also the top. So just instead of just thinking it comes from here down, which of course we know is part of relaxing the waist, actually think of the whole back as part of what you want to have relaxed and connected and able to move and transmit waves, right? That's part of what it's all about. So if you discover your back, it's really, really exciting. All right, cool. Anyone else notice anything positive or anything problematic while you're doing what you know so far?
I still have problems with that golden rooster. And I kind of think it has to do with what Sue was mentioning. I tend to get all my weight higher in the body than low. And then my balance isn't there. And so I can't. So, like just now.
Can I see you do it once? Is that all right?
Yeah, sure. See, I'm not centered right there.
But that was good.
But what I think happens is I don't sink down. Suddenly I'm standing up more straight. So I'm going to try to do what Sue said and you said, try to.
And yeah, and you know that thing I say about sitting in the bar stool?
Yeah. Yes.
That is true. You still you don't want to end up with like your back curving
right
like this when you're up. You want your spine absolutely you want to as if you were just dropping, if your spine grew right through the floor and it was going to hold you up.
Right.
There you go. Oh, that's much more balanced. Yes. Nice.
I know.
Yes, whatever it is, I think you found it. Great. Anyone else have something they found that's working or not working? All right. How is I would like to see. Let's see. Let's look at it from. Well, let's look at it from punch down. Let me see it from punch down. So let me remind you that punch down is over here, and your left foot will be forward, and it's as if you had done this, right? But you're here, right? You've bent right here, and you're here, right? When you start, and I'm just going to watch. Okay. So punch down to golden rooster. There you got it. You'll get it. Let's start again. Here we go. Okay, punch down to golden rooster. And second one. All right.
Oh.
And into repulse monkey. High pad on horse. And separation kick. And right heel, left heel kick, yes. Okay, and twin fists. Nice. Needle to see bottom. And cloud hands. And if you know it, into single whip when you're done. Nice. All right, let me model this for everyone, calling out a few things. All right. So we're going to start from that left bow step, and we're going to be here, right? We are going to shift our weight left, bring that other foot in and straighten out, and then rotate that right arm, open it, and bend our elbow back. Then one up, one down. Sink. Relax your hands, step back, and repulse. Oh, sorry, here's your next one. That's right. Here's your next one. And repulse your monkey. Sink, step back, right palm is up, and repulse that monkey. High pat on horse. Right separation kick, circling our arms, weight is back, left foot in and out, and separate. And immediately closing, moving onto that left foot, looking at that right corner, oh my goodness, and opening. Bring that right foot in, sink, step towards the corner, rotating your arms, chest is towards the corner, but your head is looking towards 9 o'clock, coming up for a left heel kick. All through all of these moves, you need that spine to stay pointing towards the floor. And we're going to one line, two sides towards 9 o'clock, shifting our weight, having that right arm swing over. Twin fists. This looked pretty good, guys. And so did needle. We're going to turn left, shift our weight left, come off that right foot, opening our hands, stepping back, and right arm back by your cheek, left hand pushing forward. Lift that left foot and dive with the right hand. Right hand's going to dive down. Your left hand is just going to stay where it is, but your body is bending down again. That is needle to see bottom. Coming up, unbending, relaxing your left arm into a left ward off, a downward ward off. Right arm is in front of your chest, which is pointed towards the corner. And all your weight on the right foot. Step forward with your left. And then your left arm to the corner. Step back with your right. Stepping forward with your left. Back with your right. And single whip. Now I want to go through a little more about cloud hands before we get too far. and about the coordinations and what works where, because I'm trying to actually modify what I'm doing, and I'm not doing it all the time. So it takes practice, right? So I wanted to ask first, everybody looks like they're much more comfortable spinning. Did you actually practice spinning this week, folks? It's a good thing to like just practice spinning, you know, just stepping back and then stepping forward. We all do it naturally. And if you're sort of spinning in one place, yeah, looks nice. Yeah. I mean, as a kid, you put your arms out and you just spun. That's how you did it. So bring back that inner child. Let it free. Your kids know how to do all this stuff. It's just we adults who've often forgotten, right? So whenever you're not quite sure what to do, think of what it is that works that way. All right, I want to talk a little bit. So what I want us to do is just do cloud hands to the left and the right. And you can mirror me or not, right? So right now, maybe I'll take this off for the second and you can mirror me and then I can see everybody's doing it. So if we do it, because in the senior form, it is all right not to do it as a circular cloud hands. So let's just quickly go through that. So one of the things when we're doing cloud hands is that we kind of sort of start like this when we're in the center. And I'm going to call this just before the grab pull. Does everybody get that? Because we could be, here's somebody else's arm, grabbing and pulling, right? Everybody get that? So when you're in a standing ward off, keep your elbows down, everybody. When you're in a standing ward off, right at this point, when it gets to 45, you are ready to contact that person and go grab pull. We're going to talk about this later. So you need to be well rooted at this point on both of your feet. Okay, we're going to talk about that later in circular cloud hands. So here you are, and we're going to turn our body towards the direction we're going. And we're going to imagine somebody's here. We're going to rotate on them and then grab and pull them. All right. And meanwhile, our other hand comes up and points to the middle forearm. And we've all done that before. And now look where my weight is. So we're just going to go back the other way right now. All right. And then what happens? This comes up, inside arm up, gets to this outside arm is going to circle down like this. And then here's that grab pull on this side. Now, if your foot was out because you've just taken a step, you'd be bringing it in right at this point. Okay? Because you're not pulling or grabbing, pulling anymore. Do you get that? You're done pulling, right? So we can come back the other way. Inside arm up, about to grab pull. Make sure you are well connected with your feet, but most of your weight is starting to go to the right, right? Now it's all to your right, so you can, or your left, sorry, your left, so you can move your right foot. And we keep doing that. See how I keep something for a while on that other foot? You see that root right here? And then it comes in. This is the way you've done cloud hands before. So at the least risky moment, when you've finished your grab pull, that's when you choose to move. Everybody get that? This is also true in the senior form. Let's go back the other way now. So we're going to go back this way. So put your feet apart a little bit more for now, because we're going to move this way to your left, right? So we're shifting our weight, grabbing, pulling with our left hand, and then stepping with our other foot. and then shifting weight, coming back, grabbing, pulling. I want you to notice your arms are both going to go left at the same time. You see that? They're both going to the left. And now they're both going to kind of go to the right. And in the traditional cloud hand, and we know that we step out again when we're not at risk anymore, when we've done our grab pull. So I wanted to pull that out. I mean, to help everybody kind of notice that. Nice, Veronica. There you go. Looking good. Yep. Right. So in the traditional one, when our arms get here, that's when we step and our weight is fully on one side. And we're emptying and filling and turning all the time. It is different in circular cloud hands, but not all that different. So I want to point this out to you. So I want you to sort of just watch for a second. First of all, when we are coming, and make sure everybody got this a minute ago, because we didn't go through this that much later. When we're here, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to come up. But as we come up, we're going to bring our right arm into, let me show you here. As we come up, we're going to start to turn and bring our right arm into this front position. And this is my right arm, by the way, and our left arm into this position, because that's the kind of position we need for cloud hands, to initiate cloud hands. And if we're going to be spinning, we pretty much have to get our spine, really pointed down, and we have to get our head really pointed up. I mean, you can try to spin like this, but it's really hard, right? So you want to be up. All right. So I want you to watch now. And any questions about that first part? I think everybody was doing it when I watched you. Let's actually go through that first part now, and I'll look at it. I don't want to rush you. So we were here. I don't know if my neck will do this. All right. And we're just coming up here. And as we do, you see how our left hand is changing. It's just relaxing into a downward ward off. And our right hand is going to bend at the elbow and start to come up across our body, because it's going to end up in this standing ward off position ultimately. All right. You're not going to move. You're also shifting your weight during this moment, shifting your weight on to your right foot so that you can make your first step. So we're really going to emphasize coordinations now. Notice I'm still sort of neutral here. I am not in a standing ward off yet. So I haven't probably contacted my opponent yet. All right. So I have a moment when I can turn right before contact. As I turn, my arm goes up, but I'm able to turn just before I contact my opponent. I'm able to take that step, but as soon as I'm rooted, I'm able to rotate and grab pull. So let's see how that actually works out, because it works out all the time. So if we're here, we're coming up. We haven't gotten to that standing ward off yet. We're gonna make sure we're pointing, we're relaxing our waist, point that spine down, keep your head up, right? Head up, and turn. And when you turn, as soon as your foot goes down, as soon as your as you root with that right foot, as soon as you root with that right foot, you're swinging your arms towards this corner. This is your corner. And grabbing and pulling. So if you look at it, you did it in slow motion. I don't know that I can make this turn in slow motion, but if you did it in slow motion, the moment when, you can't see this, but you'll see it in a minute, the moment when your toe really gets a purchase, oops, sorry, I didn't get quite around. Watch my right foot now. It's going to come all the way around, and look, I have a toe right here. And can you see where this arm is? It's not quite up into a full standing ward off yet, right? Mm-hmm. As I start to come down, I get more of a root, but I've got a root now. So even if I don't get that foot down really quickly, I'm well rooted. So I can use my turn to pull my opponent to this corner. And then step, right? And I'm stepping, see where my hand is? I'm stepping, having a hard time stepping. I'm stepping before I've really gotten to here, right? And then I'm keeping that right. See, I can pivot that right. This is my right foot. I can pivot my right foot. It's still rooted. Once I get here, it's just like the long form. I'm able to move and we continue. So here I am, I'm not fully at a standing ward off yet. So this is when you're able to move. And it really is the same as in the long form. In the long form, you move, and what direction do you move? Perpendicular to your filling foot, right? Perpendicular to your filling foot. So this is my filling foot. Perpendicular to my filling foot. Same thing here. I'm going to go to this corner right over here, the 130 corner. And look at this foot, my right foot. I'm perpendicular to it. And then I'm filling my left foot, perpendicular to my left foot. I am going to this corner with my left hand. I spin backwards. I root. Look where my hands are. I haven't rotated and grabbed and pulled yet. I'm well rooted. I'm able to do that. And I go ahead and let my pivot happen, right? But here's where I'm going. I'm going to this corner. Because this corner is perpendicular. It's hard to see here. And I was sort of spinning already on that foot. But my right foot right now is perpendicular to this corner. And then this one. And here we go again, perpendicular. And here, perpendicular. And then we're step out for a bow step. And we finish single whip just as we do in the long form. Now, I don't want you to, so where do the arms go? Where is your perpendicular foot, right? So if you're Master Yang and you're demonstrating the form, and you're trying to make it as simple as you can, Your arms will first go to this corner, which is, this is 12 o'clock in front of here. So this is our 1:30 corner. Right hand goes here. What happens? Then our left hand goes here because we've just stepped here with our left foot, right? Then as we step back and go 3/4 of the way around, our right hand will end up at this corner. And then our left hand will end up at this corner. And then our right hand ends up back at the first corner that we went to, which is to say, as we spin clockwise, the corners our hands go to progress counterclockwise. All true. All right. So I just wanted to get that like on the tape for everybody. make sure that that's true. And now here's what often happens. As you are spinning, and it happens to me a lot, it also happens to other very excellent people who demonstrate the form. You will be spinning and you won't stop. I mean, not that Master Yang or any of us who really work on doing it exactly that way ever stops. Of course he doesn't, you know. But if you keep going, you start out aiming towards a corner, but if you keep spinning all the time, you will go past the corner. People get, so don't worry if you do. There's a wonderful demonstration by Feng Laosher on YouTube, and that's how she does it. And but we're going to teach it in here the way Master Yang shows it in his demonstration video. And both of those videos are considered great Yang family videos. So don't worry if you go, if you find yourself overspinning. Does that make sense? I don't want to overpower folks with too much information, but I wanted you to have these points. Let me just go over them again. One is that in every cloud hands we do anytime, right? We are gonna be rooted. Make sure we're rooted when we're doing a technique. So when you're doing a grab pull, you better be rooted with both feet. That doesn't mean that you can't be pivoting on that other foot if you're spinning. Okay? So just to understand that. I see people working on this, trying to get the idea of it. So, so let us practice this together. This makes sense? Practice this together. So we're going to start in the direction we're used to, and then we're going to progress by moving into other directions so you can see what happens at different points until we feel like we can connect it all. Well, hopefully that will work, and it'll also give a good reference video, I hope. All right. So you folks, we went over the footwork last time. You feel comfortable about the footwork? It looked like everybody was doing it, but I can go through it one more time. Anyone want some assistance?
I'm good.
You're good? Okay. All right. Let's go through it just once. The footwork. So in especially the beginning and the end of the footwork. So if you can do whatever you want with your hands, including doing the whole form, doing it all. So we're here in a empty step, sorry, an empty step. And 30% on the front foot. And we're gonna shift our weight to the right, all the way to the right. And then we are going to pick up our left foot and put it down pointed towards with the toes pointed towards the 130 corner, and making sure that when we took our step, the toes of our right foot, if you continue their direction, and the toes of our left foot, if you continue their direction, aren't like crossed. They're not going to be like this. They're going to be like, I don't know how to do this so you can see it. But, you know, they're going to be, we showed this last week. So they're going to be like that. And that's true whether you're stepping forward or back, right? So we're coming up and shifting our weight to the right and then taking a step. So you're kind of pigeon-toed right now. Then you shift your weight and you go ahead and you can pivot on that right foot as you fill the left. Make sure your head is up. Make sure your spine is pointed down. Correct that right now if you can. And spin back as your toe goes down. So you're spinning back and you're going so that your toes are behind the line that you can make of the toes and heel of the other foot, right? Just probably you're about shoulder width apart, looking good. Then you shift your weight right and take another one of these steps forward. And again, don't cross your feet. And then all your weight left and spin back. And again, your right foot starts to fill and it hasn't crossed your left. And then you release your left foot toes. And if you're lucky, when you've done this, you're kind of in an empty stance. And all you have to do to get to a bow step is step out to the left, heel, ball, toe, bend knee for a vertical, not a regular, a vertical bow step, because this is single whip. So remember, that's where we are. That's the whole footwork. All right. All right, so we're going to put it all together, emphasizing the coordinations. And let's emphasize the direction of the direction at which our arms are going, okay? So we're going to start, our pulling arm is going, okay? So here we are starting in needle to C bottom in this left empty step. We're coming up. And before we get to that standing ward off, we're going to turn, make sure your head is up, and turn. As soon as you get your toe down, you're able to be, you're grabbing and pulling to the corner. Then we shift our weight left and check where that left foot is. Perpendicular to it is the corner over here, which is the sort of the next diagonal corner, right? If we're going counterclockwise, it's your 1030 corner. All our weights there. Now we're going to go 3/4 of the way around and step behind our other foot. Get that toe down and grab, pull to the next counterclockwise corner, which is the 730 corner. Then you're going to move as your right arm starts to circle down and your left arm's coming up towards that grab pull position. You're going to step forward again into that sort of crabbed position with your left foot, and take your arms to the it's so hard for me to figure out what it is, the 430 corner. And then we're going to step back and come to our original quarter of 130. When we're here, we're going to release. We're still going to have the toe, right? I have the toe for a moment, but then we're going to release and look like we're in an empty step. And then we're going to step out. And what's going to happen now? We are, oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I have to teach you this. This is when we make our hook up here. I need to teach that first. And then we're going to go into single whip. I just forgot single whip. My apologies. I know all of you know it. Any questions about the directions that we're going in? Stepping directions or where your arm is pulling towards. All right, okay. So let's go through what happens with single whip. I think maybe it's going to be easiest this way. Can we just do some cloud hands and see if this works? Okay, just get this feel for cloud hands. So our right hand is going to the right now, and our left. And if you just if you put shoulder to shoulder, I think you can look here. Okay, so what we're going to do with our right hand, I guess it has you looking away, if your gaze is right, but your right hand is going to come up. I'm going to show you first. So we're doing this. This is my right hand has the sleeve on it. Your right hand is going to get to the corner, and instead of continuing like this, it's going to go like this, and then it's going to go like this. Okay, so let's just do that. So here we're circling, and it's my right hand, and it does this. Nice. And meanwhile, our left hand is just doing what it does. So it's kind of like you do another cloud hands, but you get a hook. Everybody knows a hook. So fingers down, young family hook. And, you know, it's like somebody once told me fingertips together and the water could just drip off straight, just straight. So, and your fingers are as straight as they can be, if you can. So we don't do this, we do this. In part because this is what we're striking with in this particular case, this part right here. Okay? If you can't, it's absolutely fine. Do whatever you can. Don't worry. All right. So I'm going to go this way so that I think that will. So we're going to go like this and like this. And now we're going to make our hook, right? Can everybody see that? Great. All right. So we got the hook. So what does this look like? We have been here. And I guess our other foot is, our other foot was like this, kind of like this. And we turn, and you know how in single whip you do this, right? You take that, so you'll pivot and step and standing ward off. Everybody does that in single whip all the time, right? And then heel, ball, toe, strike. So there is this, it's really hard to, there is this, this arm is going to get progressively closer. You know, it's gonna do this in a way as it's also rotating this way. If you think that what you're doing is deflecting somebody right here, right? You connected with them here and you are deflecting them over where? To where their strike isn't going to work and yours is, right? So that's what's really going on there. So everybody have an idea of how that works now? It should be the same as you're used to. We're just doing cloud hands until cloud hands turns into a hook, and the same standard step, standing ward off, deflect, and as you move forward and strike. Okay, let's put it all together.
Okay.
See you, Sue.
See you, Dee Dee.
Yep. All right, from here, coming up, and I went too far. Can we do that again? I really want to do it right. I tend to spin too far. Well, further than I want to right now. It's not necessarily too far. All right, coming up, and we're going to that first corner step, and then counterclockwise, and then stepping back, stepping forward, stepping back. Here comes single whip, make a hook, step out, standing ward off, deflect, strike. All right, so you should feel that really lovely you want in single whip. So suggest everybody work on this next week. In single whip, we want to be very erect. We want to be looking through the tiger's mouth of our left hand. We want to be very open. In fact, we're past the corner with our chest. And you see how vertical I am? Absolutely vertical. And we're open. So we're not like this, we're like this. You see how this hip ends up like this? Like this. So I think just about everybody has it. All right. Any final questions?
I think I need to practice a whole lot more.
These are, you know, I found that out this week also. You know, today I was like, what do you want? Do you want to be, you know, do you want to be doing the Fang Laosha one, which is lovely and is considered Yang family, or do you want to be able to do that one and Master Yang's? I want to do Master Yang's and I want to teach Master Yang. So I've got to get out of that habit of spinning quite so much so that I can teach it like Master Yang does. So I'm working on that. So Veronica, I'm joining you on that completely.
I'm coming off vacation, so you know, I was negligent.
Okay. And if I can talk to folks just at the end of class real briefly, that would be wonderful. And it won't take long. And so let's close class.